Hey everybody, Michael Snyder here, California Weather Watch. Today is August 3rd, and right now we're looking at the mid-level water vapor loop, and I'm trying to show you here that we've got some dry air entering the region here. Some thunderstorm activity is going to be mainly across northern Utah, across northern Nevada here. We're shutting things down across California, southern Nevada, and much of Arizona here for the next few days. But we've got some interesting weather to look at through the extended forecast. We'll take a look at some of the typhoon activity off into the western Pacific here that often has some implications here for us on the west coast of North America as well. We'll look at those details here in a moment. This day in Southern Cal weather history. Look at this, August 3rd, 2014. Some of you guys might remember this. An upper level low tapped some monsoon moisture, and look at it dropped, I think, what was that, 4 inches in 2 hours there from Mount Baldy. Some impressive flash flooding associated with that. $11 million in damage in San Bernardino County alone. Here you can see them working on it in that image there. So good stuff there from San Diego, California. You can see we've got moderate heat risk coming up here as we warm up a little bit here. And yeah, it's nothing too crazy there, though, folks. I mean, you're looking at just moderate, and it says right here, heat is tolerated by the well acclimated, happens many times a year there. So just a heads up there. This is National Weather Service, Hanford, California. And here we go for Phoenix, though. It's going to warm up quite a bit here. We're going to start another streak here of 110 degrees plus across the Phoenix metro here, and it's warming up across Yuma, as you can see there. This was issued this morning. Here we go for today's thunderstorm chances here. You can see a little bit of a chance here across some of the Grand Canyon here, but a big downtrend from previous days here. But just a heads up, if you're going off Flagstaff north, you could still run into some storms today. You can see the timing 11 a.m. through 5 p.m. today, Mountain Standard. This is Grand Canyon heat this weekend. Check it out, Phantom Ranch down there, nice and warm. The higher you go, of course, the cooler you're going to be. Nice graphic here, shows you what you can expect at different elevations there in the canyon. End of a summer break here. Las Vegas forecast temperatures, you can see warming up through the weekend here. 107, nice and toasty out there. Nice graphic here from the National Weather Service, Las Vegas. And this is the month in review here for July. Check out the average temp, a whopping 4.1 degrees above normal there, below average precipitation as well. Look at that, 116 degrees there on July 16th. Only got down to 77 for the coldest temperature there, Las Vegas, Nevada. Look at Death Valley yesterday, got back up to 118 there. Warmest temperature in the lower 48. Phoenix looks like we might start another run there of 110 days or higher. Average temperature this time of year about 104, 105 as we creep through August here. Some pretty warm temperatures here. Nice little ridge building here. We'll look at here in the forecast models here in a moment. Bakersfield, you can see the warm up with the ridge coming, then a general cool down back towards average, and then maybe some warm up in the future here. We'll watch that as we go. Taking a look here, this is the Pacific Ocean. You see the Hawaiian Islands there. There's Alaska. There's California there. There's Japan on the far left. So what I'm going to show you here is all this moisture here across the western Pacific. I want to show you something off into the extended here, but you can see some of this typhoon moisture. And by the way, this is a GFS here versus itself. And you can see the typhoon moisture out here. Now watch as some of this ejects into the system here. Look at this kind of enter the jet stream here. And you can see this huge trough carve out across Pacific Ocean here. This would mean big ridging for us downstream along the west coast of North America here. The European is showing it as well. I know it's way out there in fantasy land. We're looking 200 plus hours out, but these are plausible scenarios, something we'll be watching. It's purely fantasy for now. So I'm kind of trusting you with this information, but yeah, you can carve out some big, strong storms over the Pacific Ocean, which brings ridging downstream all the way up into Canada here. Now, looking at the 500 millibar heights here, this is another way to look at it. This is 18,000 feet. You can see the ridge building in the meantime here as we go through this weekend across some of Southern California and through Arizona. It's going to allow us for our few day warm up. We got kind of a trough moving through the Pacific Northwest, kind of dampens the ridge heights a bit here. But then you can see as the trough develops here across much of western Alaska and out over the Pacific Ocean here. Look at this massive ridge just built all the way up into British Columbia here. And that would include much of the west coast, including the desert southwest down across California as well. So this is something interesting to watch as we go on in through the future here. Plenty of time to look at that right now. No need to be alarmed. And there's no need to be alarmed really at any time when you're dealing with the weather. Just be prepared. This is looking at lightning flash density. And as we go through the day today, you'll notice maybe a few storms kicking off across some of northern Arizona here, but most of that activity across northern Nevada, northern Utah here. And I'm just going to scroll through quickly because you can see Northern California, Nevada, and Utah, and kind of a repeat here over the next few days. Nothing expected for Southern California, and Arizona kind of shut off that monsoon moisture here as well as we go on in through the 90-hour period on last night's European run. Maybe introducing a little bit of activity there as we go through Sunday to some of the very southern zones of Arizona here. Now taking a look at the day one, you can see the thunderstorm outlook here. Sierra Nevada, there is a chance today as well. Day two again, but you can see not including Southern California, Nevada, or Arizona. And day three, moving a little bit further north there. 6 to 10 day temperature outlook here. You can see above average across much of Arizona, New Mexico here, and some portions of California. Not too bad. This is 6 to 10 day, and this is excuse me, that shutdown of the monsoon here, and you can clearly see it. We've been talking about this for several days now, and no changes on that aspect. 8 to 14 day goes all the way out through August 16th here, and hopefully something starts to change here. As we get closer to mid-August, we can bring some much-needed monsoon moisture down across the region. This is looking at the GFS 24-hour running total precipitation, and you can really see as I'm just scrolling through here, we're now at 120 hours out, maybe a little bit of activity in through early next week, very southern zones of Arizona. But yeah, you can see we're really shutting things down here across the region. Now we're 10 plus days out. And then, as always, in the fantasy forecast, maybe some signs of life return there to Arizona. So we'll watch that as we go. This is Sacramento kind of showing that bump up here in temperatures as we go through this weekend here, then back down. That trough kind of swings through and brings us back down towards normal. And then the extended forecast is always some low confidence there. This would be Las Vegas, above average this weekend, back down towards normal, which is still pretty warm this time of year, about 101. 102 for the average highs. And yeah, then the potential for some heat through the extended. Here we go, August 1st through 2nd. This is just a 2-day running total here. Look at the cool weather across the northeast here, the warm weather across the plains, and a little bit cooler than average the last couple of days because that monsoon moisture, but that'll be changing here as we head through the weekend. This is so far this year, all the way through August 2nd here, and the big yin and yang between the west and the east. I've been talking about that daily. And I mentioned this yesterday here. So we were in 1.2 across the equatorial Pacific. That means we are in moderate El Nino conditions. Hawaiian Islands, Australia, South America, Mexico. That's where we measure the El Nino Southern Oscillation temperatures. And you can see our long climb out of La Nina conditions towards those El Nino conditions there. You can see the warm tongue extending across the equatorial Pacific. Again, South America, Australia, Hawaii, and Mexico there. So yeah, classic El Nino showing up here right now. A lot of the oceans across the rest of the planet are warm, so it's going to be interesting to see just how this El Nino develops. This is the CFS forecast issued at 31st of July, and you can see probably headed towards a strong El Nino coming up, and you can kind of see this as we go through September, October, November, December, January, February, and March here. And you can, that's the equatorial Pacific, little Hawaiian island dot would be right there in South America. Mexico would be here. So yeah, El Nino's coming. We'll continue to watch it as we go. We've got a lot of time to watch and see how this develops. Will it mean a rainy winter here for California? We're just not quite sure yet, but it's not a bad start. And anyway, yeah, sorry about shutting down the monsoon here for the next few days here, but hopefully it's short-lived. And we'll continue to watch that fantasy-rich potential here from much of the west coast of North America, potentially all the way up into Canada here. And yeah, we'll do this again daily. Click like, subscribe, leave some comments below, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow.